Good afternoon, everybody. I don't have too much slides to be presented, and I'd really love to have a sort of interactive discussion with you, not to wait the Q&A session. And I would start with a question. How many of you are millennials in this room? Okay.
Where do you start the program from?
1980, I would say.
Okay.
So how many of you are liars?
Good one. All right. So I have a question for a millennial. So you're a millennial, right?
On the edge, but yes.
On the, I'd like a more younger millennial, let's say. You're also a millennial, and I bet. Yeah? Good. Well, you're, I'd say, Generation Z something? Yeah. But let's talk to you a bit. I have also a kid of 20 years old, so basically I have some inside feedback from her side. But tell me, what are your expectations in about 10 years' time?
Well, don't want to stop learning, so I definitely want to get to a point, well, I hope I will not get to the point that I will feel that I've learned everything. Of course, have some more steps in the career.
In a corporation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a family, I don't know, so that's mostly it.
Okay, good. I was talking to my kid, who is not a millennial, but I was inspired by a song, I don't know whether you have heard it, Gotta Love Millennials. Have you heard it? It's a funny one, I would say. I was relating to it when I was hearing it, listening, because that's exactly the feedback or what I heard from my kid. She wants to take control as faster as possible. Tell me it's not the case.
Yeah.
Much faster than we did, the other generations. They want to have an accelerated career development. And like the song, they want to get to be a millionaire at the 30 years old. Not bad, indeed. But my question is it an easy task to do that? Or how they are planning to do that? My kid's got a very clear plan for the following 10 years. I was talking to other millennials. She's not a millennial, again, but somehow she thinks the same. And I really feel that they want to be in charge as soon as possible. They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to take on their own as soon as possible. It was not an easy task for me to choose a topic for this conference, because taxation, I wouldn't say, is very fun. It's challenging, I would say, considering all our changes in the law, especially in the recent years. And I choose one topic. It's not that this is the only one who matters. We can exchange the information, you can raise questions, we can, let's say, clarify any tax-related matters that you have. But you may remember in the previous sessions, which, by the way, I found very inspirational, there was a saying, partnership. Partnership between employees and employer, right? What do you feel, or tell me please, if you don't mind, what do you understand by partnership?
Partnership
between employee and employer.
You have to have a partnership because it's not only one party responsible. Sorry. So you have to have a partnership because it's not only one party responsible. And I think what we need to teach younger employees is the fact that yes, they are responsible for their career, for learning, promise a lot when we want to hire them, and we need to keep that promise, but it's not only on our side. So it's a partnership there in order to make it work.
Thank you. It's a very good one. Since we are at the taxation part, I have to discuss or to present something related to taxation, right? There are a lot of things that we as employer can do to motivate our employees. They are expecting flexible work arrangement. I think already many employers are granting this benefit. Remote work is increasing. Training, again, companies are investing in trainings. And many other things. What I thought to present today is basically how we can involve the employees on the financial part in this partnership. How we can actually increase their interest in making sure that they are innovative, creative, bringing new products or new way of providing services, and be very much interested in increasing the shares value of the companies. Most probably, in case of many multinational companies, this is something which has been already implemented for years, but not in every company. Stock option plan. How many of you have heard about stock option plan? Wow, that's a good thing. Do you already have it implemented? Okay, good. Then for some of you, it will not be something new. Sorry?
To my clients.
Me too, for your clients. But I think this is something that should raise everybody's attention as fast as possible, because first, we actually embrace the expectations of the new generations who want to take control, okay? Who want to be on their own entrepreneurs. What we are also doing, we are making sure that they are very much involved in day-by-day activity, that they are involved with their heart because they are working to grow this company. How many times we've heard about from millennials, or from not only millennials, I would say, well, the bonuses this year were not that high. Why? There were some rumors, I would say, well, because the partners want to get a higher dividend, right? Well, we have the opportunity, actually, to get interested, our employees, and grant them a plan with stock options, okay? This is, I would say, a mutually convenient arrangement. This would be good for the employer because he will get the employees' interest, motivation to get involved as much as possible in business. And from employees' perspective, it might certainly get a higher, let's say, financial part on the pocket. It's an excellent motivation tool for a long term. It's not a short-term incentive, all right? I know we are all very much interested in short-term incentives, and we can talk about many things. Bonuses, we can talk about meal tickets, we can talk about gift tickets, we can talk, starting recently, about cultural vouchers, okay? There's a higher interest in private insurances, health and pension insurance. I have noticed also a higher interest in covering the tourist services during vacation period for employees and family members. By the way, do you have any such costs which are borne by the employees with tourist services? There are. Okay, sure. There is a draft change to the fiscal code. I don't know whether you have heard about it. Just to give you some information, it is not known so far if it will be approved or not, because we have a change of the government. But there is the intention to limit the cost at one average salary per economy per year. It's not anyway an immaterial amount. We're talking about 5,000 lei per year. So it's a good benefit you might think about for short-term incentives, okay? But coming back to stock option. Stock option means that we want to motivate and to retain valuable employees for a longer term, all right? Flexibility, it can be customized. In some of the cases, it can be for 1 year. It has to be for 1 year in order to benefit from tax incentives, okay? But it can be extended for a longer period. I would say that the average, the companies prefer the 3 years time period. We are talking about predictability. Predictability in the sense that the plan can be created in a way to be predictable both for employee and employer. Of course, there will be some fluctuations because the higher aim is to increase the value of the company. All right? So the employees have to perform in order to increase the value of the company and increase the shares value. And tax effectiveness. And I will show you immediately what does it mean. There are some conditions to be met, of course. The plan can be set up in a way to have options which are granted to the employees at a certain point of time. Let's say starting January 2020, okay? So in January 2020, I give you the option to buy at a certain point of time later on, to buy shares. What means is that after 1 year period, you as an employee may buy those shares. You may buy it at a preferential price, but they can be granted also for a nil price. That's what we have noticed, that the employers or the companies are more and more interested to implement, okay? Because certainly we want to increase, we want somehow maybe to have a mix of bonuses and stock option plan, and that's why basically the interest might be more to have or to grant those options or shares at a later stage at nil price. When you get the option, it's actually just a promise. You don't get the share, right, in January 2020. You grant the promise that you will get after 1 year time some shares. Depending, also the plan can set up some KPIs, because the company is very much interested to invest and also to involve you as much as possible. So at the option grant price moment, you don't have any taxation. It's not salary. But as a capital gain, so the taxation moment will arise at the moment only when you sell your shares. So let's say you got in January 2020 the promise, you have no taxation. In February 2021, you get the number of shares as a promise for those options. There is no taxation. Certainly, conditions for the stock option plan should be met, right? And the company might be interested in purchasing back the shares, because the stock option plan is not applicable only for the companies which have shares listed on a regulated market, right? So it is also available for any company, closed companies, which do not have their shares listed. So in this case, the company would most likely, in most of the cases we have met, would repurchase the shares back. And you will have just taxation as capital gain. As capital gain, meaning 10% of the value. If you are talking about purchase of nil price. And a capital fund contribution. You can see the difference, what would mean to have a bonus instead of stock option. Do you think it is something of interest? I would say that if we do have stakeholders here in companies, they may think about this opportunity. In the other cases, you may take this idea further and present it to see whether there will be any interest from the stakeholders to implement such a plan. Yep, I think my time is out. We'll have so can we take now the questions?
Just one very quick question.
Yes,
we're
please.
getting way over. Is there a quick question for Stella? Okay, we'll probably have a question for you when we've done the last presentation. So thank you, Stella. Thank you very much.
Thank you.